What Civic Tech Moncton is we are a community of volunteers who provide technology solutions for nonprofits and civic services in Great Moncton. So, for example, we are currently working on a project for the Autism Resource Center. They have one executive director and one program, coordinator that services the entirety of Southeast New Brunswick, from Port Elgin down to Salisbury and up through LA down to Alma. Everything they do is manual. They still use paper and pen. They get hundreds of emails every month. They get hundreds of phone calls every month. So you can imagine, trying to service all those people, and keeping track of who they are, where they are, and keeping that information private. So the first step for us in supporting the Autism Resource Center is to look at their website. Really simple. Find out where they can optimize with their own Gmail account, how they can save files, how they can, do really simple things that will help them track what the information that's coming in. Once we have that set up, we're going to move into bigger things, how the possibility of building a member database or an events program or an online registration tool or something like that. I don't know what we're going to do. The nice thing about Civic Tech Moncton is the volunteers offer what they can do, and then we build it. What we're here for tonight is for Hack for Change. And for those of you who haven't heard, or this is the first time you've heard of it, and you're kind of here to figure out what does this mean, it is a 3-day hackathon that's going to be taking place from March 13th until March 15th. It will start at 5 p.m. on Friday and it will end at around 5 p.m. on Sunday. And yes, this place is going to be open overnight. So if you are a night owl and you do your best work at 2 or 3 in the morning, you can be here doing your best work at 2 or 3 in the morning. The idea is that you're going to build an MVP within 48 hours that the Civic Tech volunteers and the winning team or the winning idea can collaborate on to officially deploy it for Greater Moncton to use. And in this case, the organizations or the member organizations who will be using this technology solution will be members of the Greater Moncton Homelessness Steering Committee. Okay? The theme, the idea, the solution will not be revealed until Friday. Okay? On Friday, you're going to come with your teams, and then we're going to tell you what you're the idea, the problem, the challenge, and then you get to build it the way you see fit. Okay? We do have prize money. We have confirmed sponsors with the City of Moncton, J.D. Irving, Midland Transport, and we have a couple of others that we're waiting to hear from. There will be at least $4,000 to $5,000 in prize money available, okay, for the winning solution to be built out. What does that mean for you? In the end, while the intellectual property is not going to be exclusively owned by you, your name will forever be attached as a legacy on this idea or winning solution that goes out. Everybody in Greater Moncton, Southeast New Brunswick, and potentially if it was adopted across the province, your name is attached to it forever. Okay, plus whatever money you get to win. This is a big deal. It's not something you walk away from. In the 48-hour period, there will be some smaller workshops to help you get through. There will be very experienced mentors that can help you with ideas, with bottlenecks, with coming up with ways to keep your project moving forward. And in the end, You know, it is up to you. Whether you want to take your idea and hand it off to Civic Tech Moncton volunteers, or if you want to be a part of the build, entirely up to you. Just be aware that Civic Tech Moncton and the Greater Moncton Homelessness Steering Committee does own the rights to deploy it, build, deploy, and use it any way that they wish to. You also own that information, but you cannot restrict us from using it. Any questions about that? Any questions about Civic Tech Moncton? Does that kind of give you guys a good overview of who we are and what we do? Okay, then I think what I'm going to do is hand it over to Mo Kinlad. Mo has been a tremendous support in pulling this whole thing together for us. Between myself and Mo and Deji, who is not here tonight, we have visited the Mayor of Moncton, who's now the Senator, Don Arnold, Vincent Marola with the City of Moncton, who heads up the city's Economic Development Council, Andriana, Greater Moncton Housing Homelessness Steering Committee, and a number of other individuals who have an interest in seeing this being built to help our citizens. There's over 10,000 individuals in 2025 that used a food bank, okay? And that doesn't include all those people who were receiving help and did not go to a food bank for that. So food scarcity is a real issue. Between 3,500 and 4,000 families face the possibility of homelessness and are facing food scarcity issues. 500 people every month right now are homeless. Okay, so the solution that we build between March 13th and 15th is going to have a huge impact on our community. And this is why I say this is a legacy solution that your name will always be attached to. Whether you end up building it with us or not, it was your idea and your name and the 4 people who helped come up with it. You will always have that as your legacy. So, Mo, you ready to take it away? Thank you very much for coming out and helping us get to this point. I'll let you introduce yourself and your background, and you know, we need this for recording.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So happy to see all of you. The idea is just to give you some kind of orientation as to what we'll be doing and like piecemeal information. And as we go along, for those who will be going into the hackathon itself, Workshop B, Workshop C will provide more detailed information, and then via the Slack communications, we'll now get more detailed and more technical. So tonight, I want everybody to relax. The mode is, as we're going along, if you have any questions, please let's talk about it. Don't wait till the end. It's not a very formal session. We're not having a seminar, we're just having a workshop. So as we're going along, if you have any questions, anything you want to add or whatever, just one at a time and contribute, whatever it is. Anybody wants to say anything, let's just be very informal and learn from one another and enjoy ourselves while we do so. So my name is Mo Kinlad, and I have over 25 years of experience in tech, IT. I started as a tech support, then into a developer, then into the business side of things, senior management exec, etc. across different industries. I've worked in financial services, I've worked in different industries anyways, And here I am. So supporting Hackathon. This came up, we're just in a session like this, and we're talking about it. The whole idea of this whole community here at Civic Tech is, tech for good. So we're looking at what can we do to this, in this society. What can we do? And this came up, and so here we are today, and here you are. And I'm hoping that the people that are here will, continue to go on into the hackathon itself and be part of the hackers. So today we're going to cover what hackathon really is all about. why civic innovation matters, how the weekend will run. Sharon has pretty much said a lot, but just to talk about it again. How the weekend will run, team information, tools you'll be using, the GitHub, rules and judging criteria, ownership and IP, and how to prepare confidently for the weekend. So, what is a hackathon? A hackathon basically is like an innovation sprint, and the focus is on solving a real-world challenge. So it's not just where we have coming up with ideas at the back of their minds. Techies, we techies. We just like to always come up with things and over-engineer and overbuild. No, this is not what this is about. This is solving a particular problem, a real-world problem, an applicable problem. So over the weekend. It doesn't have to be over the weekend, but for us, we are doing it over the weekend in 3 days sprint. So a hackathon basically focuses on that, and the output of that, the outcome of that is an MVP, a working prototype, as much as you can. Sometimes we don't have enough time, to have a working prototype, because we kind of think it's easy, but when you get into it, you realize that, oh my goodness, to make it work the way you want it to work, oh, I need more time. So at the end of the day, you just have a prototype that you can demo, but it's not a working prototype. But the whole idea is to have something that can be used. Very BRS minimum, MVP, minimum viable prototype. Something that has the BRS minimum functionalities or features that a real life person can use and say, wow, I'm so glad they built this. So that is basically what it is. And bear in mind, you're not building anything enterprise. For those of you who will be going into the hackathon itself, you're not striving for perfection. You're building something that will be usable by real people. At Worshop, our aim is to invite the people we're building for to introduce to you the environment, the people, the context. So you have a sense of the people that will be using the prototype or the MVP that you've built. The whole idea, again, is not for perfection. Whatever you're building, when that workshop happens, try as much as possible to garner who these people are, what their constraints are, what their contexts are, what is it that will really make life easy for them. Not what you think is fancy, all the bells, all the whistles. There's some people who are really good and very fast, and they can do stuff, pretty quickly. And so they come up with 101 things. Like me, give me paper and I can do 101 things. But you see, that's overbuilding. That's too much. They just need 2, or they just need 1, and that is sufficient. So at the next workshop, make sure that it's going to be giving you a lot of information about the committee and their members. But make sure that you, who's going into the hackathon, you get that experience on the people, the context, so that it will be a usable product at the end of the day. So why civic innovation matters? As you know, Moncton is one of the top 3 fastest growing cities in Canada. So you can imagine there's a lot of stuff. Interprovincial, international, people are coming into Moncton. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of community infrastructure to be built. There's so many huge, good problems in a good way, and part of what Hackathon is going to do for us is to contribute to solving those problems. So what we're doing is not actually something that is fancy, but it's something that is, like Shannon was saying, you're putting your name on the footprints of history in Moncton. This is the very first. This is the very, very first. And you will be among the very first people to solve real problems for the city of Moncton, focusing directly on this. So your solution may improve coordination, reduce friction in operations, support. These are actually real problems. We're not giving you any idea of what the real solution you'll be building is, so don't bother to start to think, okay, maybe I should just focus on this, dimension this. No. This is just general stuff. Support frontline staff, increase efficiency, create lasting impact. So those are the major areas that we have seen in talking to all the people, before we came up with this solution, this problem, and we decided this is the problem that is worth solving. So these are the critical things. These things, believe it or not, they're keeping some people awake at night. And so I do not want to overemphasize this, but whatever it is that we're doing here in the hackathon is actually going to be a significant value to the city of Moncton, and to you and I, actually. I don't want to say too much about the problem. So yeah, the tools you'll be using, we've mentioned GitHub. We have a session on that. Sebastian will be taking that, but basically, I'm sure many people are familiar with that here. It's just for collaboration, to make sure that you have a central repository between the teams and between you and us, the committee. So then Slack will be our main comms tool. After tonight, we will open it up, and then you guys will go on there, introduce yourselves. We have different channels in there, you'll see it. Introduce yourself, we have a template for that. So it's going to be the main comms tool. Announcements, everything will be on Slack going forward. So also, the GitHub will provide like a sample repository, stuff that you can easily fork and use to start with. You don't need to. I mean, Sebastian will speak to all of that. So next slide. So this is the weekend structure. We start on Friday. Kickoff. The challenge reveal will happen on Friday. It's going to be a whole thing. You will meet the people that really care about this problem. Like you said, we started with the mayor, who's now. So you can imagine the kinds of people who this problem, what we're doing really matters to. It is really, really critical to the society. So we're going to reveal there. Then the team formation should start from tonight. So the idea is 1 to 4 people. I don't know how many we'll eventually have, how many people altogether, but 1 to 4 people. And regarding the team, a winning team would have diverse people, developers, designers, those who can make a pitch, someone who is good in presentation, and someone who is good in thinking about workflows, like the user journey. I can't overemphasize this. You're not building for yourself. You're not building something fancy. You need to put yourself in the shoes of the user. And in workshop B, you will get to know, well, let me not say you will get to know, you make it a point of duty to get to know who the user is. They would not tell you, specifically, but your aim in that workshop is who really is this user? And you should be able to sit in the position of the user and map, okay, so this is who the user is, this is how they think, this is what their day is like, this is the schedule, this is how busy, this is the tech constraint. Who is this user? Are they ardent tech users? So the user journey, you're not building for yourself, but you're building for those people. You will not be meeting the end users, but you'll be meeting the managers of the end users. So team formation will be cast by Friday. Whoever shows up here and by Friday has not joined the team. So one person cannot do this. When you see the problem, I see somebody's head, are you sure? Okay, well, you can try, you can give it a shot. Like I said, some people are really, really very good. In fact, it's more than enough time for that. It's like, you know what, I can finish this. I can do this and more. When you see what the problem is, and I'm thinking, I don't need 4 people for this. But it's safer for you to have 4, except you can combine all those skills in one person. The designer, the person who's making the presentation, a very good presentation. Making sure that whatever you built, you're communicating it to the judges. This is what we built, and it works. And communicating the innovation. I mean, we'll talk about what they're going to be looking out for. So that's Friday. Then the initial build starts on Friday. Then Saturday, the full build day, you have the whole day. On that Saturday, we're going to have like an optional 30 minutes. On Friday, we're going to do a 30 minutes time management session for people who, just to give you strategies as how to go about things. But because now you now know what the problem is. You know what the features. We're going to give you specific features you're going to be building. So you're not going to be coming up with features yourself. So this is the problem, and these are the 5 features of functions of the system, of the MVP. So you have that. That's going to help you a lot. It helps you scope and narrow things down so you're not overbuilding. So, so initial build continues on Saturday. Friday time management. Saturday we're going to have the pitch training for those who would, want 1 or 2 tips on how to make presentation, because there are techniques to this thing. I know as a techie, growing up as a techie, my manager once told me, hey, you know what? You need to go for tech management skills for tech, blah, blah, blah. Because I just didn't want to have it. Everything was all techie. And she was, no, it's enough. You need to learn how to speak, the way managers speak and the way, the business language. So we will be teaching you, well, not teaching you, just showing you, how best to make your pitch. Stay on point. You have this length of time. This is it, this is it, this is it. So we hope to do that on Saturday. And on Saturday, you have mentors. They're going to have working hours. Mentors from the perspective of the committee, the organization that we're building for. So in case, you forgot something. Okay, you're not sure. Is this? But they cannot guide you on code. They cannot guide you on, they can only advise you basically based on the user personas. So, okay, you forgot something about how they work. Is this a constraint? Do they think, that's it? But when it comes to code, nobody can guide you on that. It's left to you. Do whatever you want to do. They can only guide you on user personas and the environment and their own context. We just wanted, reassurance to know that we're building on the building. So you have that. On Slack as well, peradventure, the mentors have, gone there. This is outside of their office hours. We're going to have a channel where you can, post your Q&A, or over the weekend, we have a weekend channel. You can post your, challenges, whatever it is that you're having, post it. We're going to be monitoring that just so that we can respond to you and you can focus on what you need to do. So that's Saturday. On Sunday, you submit by 1 o'clock. And throughout, please make sure that you do not pre-build anything. We're counting on your integrity. Nobody's going to be hounding you, going behind your back and checking your repositories. No, we're just counting that everybody will be, we all have integrity and we will do things properly. So on Sunday, you submit by 1 o'clock. After that, you'll do your demos to the judges, and comes the presentation skills that I spoke to. Then the judge. After that, they come together, they have a meeting, the judges have a meeting, and then they decide. Of course, it's going to be scored, but then if there is a tie and different things that they want to bring forward, the judges come together, they decide, and then present the winners of the whole hackathon. So that's that, and it's going to be, you guys will work overnight, Saturday, Sunday. So team formation, we talked about that. We want to call people. We talked about, ideally when you're forming your team, when you go on Slack, you'll be, required to introduce yourselves. That's if you do not have teams already. So make sure that you have a combination of these people. It's only just smart to do this. Except you are that one person that can do all of this. Then you can fly. But really, there's no point reinventing the wheel. Just do what you got to do. So these are the combination of people, mix of skills that you should have. Next slide. Okay, so you introduce yourself. Next slide. Talk about this. So summary. After today, join Slack, post your intro, find out who is who needs what, come together. Then once you now have a team of 4 people, you let us know by posting on the channel, team logged, and then put the team members, your name, the team lead, and the members of the team. That's it. For the way we're going to be grouping things, we're going to be assigning numbers. Once we get all the teams, together, we're going to be assigning numbers to each team, and that's for our own internal, judging and processing and all of that. But you just do your own part, which is this: come together as teams, lock your teams, let us know, put it on Slack. This is the team leader, and these are the team members. Not more than 4 people.
You can see Caddy afterwards, and she has the QR code to Slack. Okay.
All right, so I'm just going to go over very quickly sort of how to use GitHub, because that is what we're going to be using for managing the source code, managing the submissions, and so on. So you're going to need to have just a basic understanding of it so that you're able to, when we're running the event, get the code, the sample code that we're going to be providing, build off of it, and then provide us with your solutions. So first off, why are we using GitHub? So GitHub is, broadly speaking, it is an industry standard tool. It's by far the most popular tool for managing software repositories, source code. And it enables you to collaborate very safely, track your changes, submit transparently, and showcase your work. It also has a lot of solid project management tools. I'm not going to get into that too much today, but just so you're aware, there's a lot more to it than what we're showcasing now, and it is a tool that is used by most real software teams, professional teams. So just to go through the general flow here, If you're going to be using GitHub, I'm just actually going to walk through this right now. The first thing you'll need is you will need to install Git itself, so I'm going to actually do that first. In case you don't already have it, you go to the Git website. It's git-scm.com. You also, if you Google Git, you'll find it, G-I-T. And you can just go into the install section, click to install.
This is the working part, everybody, so if you don't already have it, do it.
Yep. The installation process is pretty simple. I'm not going to get into all of the features that you can choose here because the installer has a whole lot of options. I strongly recommend, if you're not familiar with them, just stick with the defaults, click next, click next, click next. Go. So if you don't already have Git, you'll need that set up so that you can work with source code for the hackathon. So that's just going to take a minute.
Does everybody already have Git set up and installed on your laptop? Yeah, great.
Good.
Perfect.
So once that's done, you can go to github.com and just sign in. So you can sign up if you click on the sign up button here. And obviously you can use, if you have a Google or Apple account, you can use those, or alternatively you can make an account specifically with GitHub. In my case, I've already got an account with GitHub set up through Google, so I'm just going to use my Google account here. Go. And when you log into GitHub, you're going to find yourself on this dashboard. But what you're going to want to do is navigate to the Civic Tech Moncton Hack for Change Workshop A repository. The link for that is in the Slack. It's in the Workshop A 101 channel. And here we go. I'm just going to bring that up. Now this repository is something that we've prepared.
Give people time to get in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to go into Slack under Workshop A, that's where you'll find the link. Guys, don't be shy to speak up. If you can't get connected or you can't get along, that's what we're here for.
If you need any help with any part of this process, just let me know.
Has everybody found the link in Workshop A in the Slack channel?
If you don't have it, I'll just bring up my address bar here. You can see it there as well.
Is everybody in? Or you need a couple more minutes? It's okay to say I need a couple more minutes. Okay.
All right.
And if you need help, just put your hand up. I've got Eugene back there, I've got Ricardo back there. You need some help? Yeah. Eugene, do you mind helping? Anybody else need a hand? Kiana, are you set over there?
Yeah, I'm reading the reading.
Okay, so you guys are all set over there? The table over here, are you guys all set, or do you need a few more minutes? You're good? Table back there, are you guys all set? In front of me, are you guys all set? Over there, you all set? I'll let Eugene catch the last gentleman up. Okay, you're all set. Okay.
All right, so in this repository, what we've done is we've got just some very basic sample code. And the sample code is just there so that you have something to set up sort of a simple client-server application. It's basically there to give you a nice head start. We're going to be providing something very similar, but not quite the same on the day of the event. So what you can do is you can actually use this repository and the sample code in it to sort of practice. And it's got support for running the server, for running test unit and integration tests. So you should have everything you need to kind of get started in here. Now, once you're logged into GitHub, you're looking at the Hack for Change Workshop A repository. Obviously, you don't have access to make changes to this repository. This is on our account. But you're going to want to be able to make edits so that you can provide your solution so that you can build off of it. So what you can do in that case is there's a button in the top right corner here that says fork. And if you click that button, it'll bring up a form that says create a new fork. So just, if everyone can just let me know once you've got that screen up.
Okay. Thumbs up over here, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Thumbs up, okay.
Perfect.
Good. And then once you're in here, there's a whole lot of options. Generally, the defaults are good. You can change the name if you want. If you think you have a better name that you'd want to use, whatever you like. But once you're ready, you can click this button, Create Fork, and that will create a new fork of the application for you. There we go. So now you can actually see this is no longer under the Hack for Change or Civic Tech Moncton project account. This is now under my personal account. I've created a fork. And what that means is I can now do whatever I want to any of the code in here, any of the documents. I can make changes safely, and it won't have any impact on the original repository. It also means if you want to mess around with any of the GitHub features or functionality that I'm not covering today, you can feel free to do that on your own fork, and it won't have any impact on what we have, so you don't need to worry about screwing anything up. It's basically a safe way to work with things.
So has everybody created a new fork? Yes, yes, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Perfect, thank you.
All right, so once you have your fork created, there's a few ways that you can edit the contents here, because obviously you're going to want to be making some changes. One way is you can actually do editing directly in the UI. So you can see, for example, if I wanted to change the README, there is an edit file button here. But particularly where you're going to be working with source code, it's generally better to do it on a local machine so you can make sure that you can compile it, that you can run it locally, and so on. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to actually get that code down onto your computer. So in order to do that, we're going to use Git, which we installed earlier, and we're going to use a command line to do this. So I'm just going to quickly open a command prompt, and I have, you can pick whatever folder you like. I have a folder just called code here, and I am going to go into GitHub, and there's a code button here, this big green button. And inside of this, there is a few different options for cloning. What I'd recommend, particularly if you're working on Windows, is you use the HTTPS option. So that's what I'm going to be walking through here. It's the simplest one. You can just click this button to copy this URL to your clipboard. And once you've done that, you go to the command prompt and you type in git space clone space, and then just the URL that you've just copied, and you hit enter.
Okay.
Sorry, I have.
Is everybody at this point? No. Okay.
So
some are, some aren't.
I'm just gonna run the command just so you can see what you can expect. For you, it might ask you to log in. You'll need to provide credentials. It'll do that through the web browser. So it's a fairly straightforward process. And if you need any help with that, then we can provide you help with that as well.
You got it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Does anybody need help to get to this point? Huh?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between doing this and actually downloading the
So I can show you that while people are just getting this ready. If I go and download.
Who needs help? You do, Tom, do you mind helping out? Thanks. Anybody else need help? Everybody else is good? Okay.
Okay, so if you download the zip file, you're going to get the source code downloaded, but it doesn't include the actual files required for the Git repository. So if you want to then make changes and then submit them, you're going to need to do a number of extra steps. Whereas if you use Git itself to clone it down, you're cloning not just the files, but the repository itself. And because you now have the repository cloned to your device, you can make those changes and submit them through Git very quickly. So it's just a little bit more convenient if you're using Git. Now, if you prefer and you're familiar with the tools and you know how to work with them, then it doesn't really make a huge difference how you get the code back in. But for this workshop, I'm mainly showcasing working with Git, because that is generally the standard way that you're going to be expected to work with software. So what we've just done is we've created a copy of the entire repository on our local computers. And the nice thing about that is now, and in general about working with Git is, again, this is a separate copy from the one that you have in your fork on GitHub. So any changes you make on this, they don't get pushed back into GitHub unless you choose to do that. So you can freely mess around with your source code, you can play around with the documents, you can make whatever edits you need to do, and if anything goes catastrophically wrong, you've still got the original repository on GitHub available to go back to. So now I'm just going to show you very quickly how to make a change. In this case, I'm just going to make a very simple change to the README file in the root folder, and you can just follow along. So I'm in the cloned directory that I've created. You can see I've got all of the files here, and I'm just going to open up readme.md in a text editor, and I'll just add the text. This is a change. There we go. And then if I bring up the command line and I type in git status, it'll actually, oh, sorry, I need to get this directory here. If I run a command line from the directory itself and I type in git status, it'll tell me, all right, I have this file, it's not staged for commit. So what that means is it's detected the change, but it's not including the change in the repository. It hasn't been submitted to the repository. If I try to submit it, it's not going to add it. So the easiest way to make sure that you've got everything in there, you can type in git add-a. That'll add every changed file that you have. If you want to do individual files, you can do things like, for example, here I could have said git add readme.md, and that would add just the one file. And there's a number of other commands for that you can find on the Git website where you installed Git from. But now that I've got it added, if I run git status again, you can see it's now green and it's indicated as modified, right? So that means that it is now prepared to be committed. So once I want to do this, I'm going to type in git commit-m changed README. Now, when you do this the first time, it will complain because you haven't set up an email and a name. Git does want you to have an email and a name set so that all of your commits can be sort of identified. They know who the author of each commit is. And it actually tells you right here how to do that. So I'll actually just do that right now. I'll type in just the exact thing that it says. And while I'm doing this, I'd recommend you can kind of go and just change the README or change another file and just make sure that you've got it added and that you can see it in the status. So I'll go in here, gmail.com, there's my email address, global user.name, mail. And then once you've actually done that, if you run the commit command again, it will apply the commit. This is applied to your local repository, so it's not on GitHub yet, but it is stored in that repository, so it is ready to be pushed. So I'll give everyone a bit of time so you can get a commit in there and just make sure that that works for you. Who's got a commit already set up and who is still? So show of hands if you finished the stuff.
Is everybody good? Are you good back there? No? You're still working on it in front? Okay. Does anybody need help? Do you guys need some help? Kiana, do you think you need some help?
I'll try to get it.
Okay, no problem. Over here, do you guys need some help? Are you good? Good? Everybody else? You good? So quiet, everybody. Oh my gosh. Is it because you're all like
They're captivating.
introverts?
They're captivating.
I know. You've driven them to silence, Sebastian.
I'm just that good. So while people are still just sorting that out, I'd just like to mention, I'm giving a very high-level overview of the simplest way to use Git here. There's a lot of other functionality in it, particularly when you're working with a team. You can branch off your source code and work in separate branches so that you're not sort of impacting each other. And there's ways to manage that as well. I strongly recommend, before we get to the hackathon, that you take sort of spend some time playing around with Git, looking into its features and getting a good handle on how you as a team would like to work with it. Because it works best when you kind of agree to a particular approach to collaborate with.
All right.
Okay, all good? Awesome. So the next command you want to run, just type in git push. It might ask you for credentials, so you might get a pop-up where you need to log into GitHub. For me, I'm already logged in, so it's just going to push it right up. So if you need any help with this step in particular, just raise your hand. If you see what I just got here, which is just a bunch of messages indicating that it's compressing and then sending it up to GitHub, that's what you want to see. That means that it's worked. All good? Perfect. If anything was going to go wrong, that was going to be the step that did, so we're in the clear now. Oh.
It went wrong.
It went wrong.
I got authentication failed.
Authentication
That is lovely.
failed.
Can you go take a look? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Do you mind? Thanks so much. Go back and do that. How many people here have used GitHub before?
Oh, no.
Few. Good. And for some of you, it's brand new. How many people here came just for the workshop and not for the hackathon? Some of you are thinking about the hackathon. Get an edge. There's no question. You're going to have an edge.
And if you're just looking to kind of like build your knowledge and learn how to work on these kinds of tools, the hackathon in general is going to be a really good opportunity. Some of our mentors will actually have technical expertise. Obviously, we won't be able to write the code for you, but if you need help sort of just figuring out basic concepts or learning how to use different tools, then we can definitely lend a hand there as well. So it's a good opportunity.
There's a few people in this room today that are going to be mentors, and people we're bringing on board to help at the hackathon, they're senior developers or DevOps people or engineers who have close to 20 years of experience or more.
And you might win some money, which is also
You never
nice.
know. Pay off some of those student loans, your car, your phone bill. Depending.
For now, I would assume that it's safe to assume that you're going to be working with some kind of data. Whatever we are providing, we will make sure that there is something in place so that it's a bit of it's smooth for you to kind of get started with that. Beyond that, there's not too much I can say.
I have a question. Is there a specific language that you expect us to write the program in?
No, as long as it's not, obviously it'd be better if you don't go into something really esoteric or weird. So if you make a submission in COBOL, that's probably not okay. But like the reason we've provided all these different servers here is because we want to make sure that you have that something is available to kind of get you started quick, assuming you're using a popular language. And if you want to also, like if you want to use PHP, for example, or if you want to use another JVM language like Clojure or Schema, that's perfectly fine. Just keep in mind that, like I mentioned earlier, that we'll have some mentors with a lot of sort of technical experience. The more obscure the programming language that you're using and the less popular it is, the less likely it is that we'll be able to provide you with support. We'll talk, yeah, we'll talk about that.
You want to bring that up about AI and?
It's gonna be one of.
Yeah, it's also going to be our third workshop.
It's going to be our third workshop as well. So Mike
Yeah.
Shadami is going to be hosting our AI workshop. Do you want to give just a quick high level of what you expect to be presenting for it?
Of course, there are different AI models today. Of course, offered by different companies, Claude, ChatGPT, and so many, or Copilot.
So project rules and AI usage policy, yeah? For project rules, all work must start. We talked about that on Friday. Please do not pre-build. We all have that tendency to just quickly do this, just quickly do that. You'll be wasting your time. Don't pre-build, nothing. Just come. And we start off on Friday. The full challenge, exactly what the problem is, will be revealed. What are we, solving exactly, and what are the functions of this system? Everything will be revealed. We have a finite number of features that we're going to be building. All of that will be explained to you on the day. Open source tools are allowed. AI is allowed. Must submit a working repository. Well, eventually, if it doesn't work, don't pull out your gear for that. You tried your best. Just relax. Do whatever you can do. 1 o'clock, submit. Don't let everybody come to your desk, your table, guys. Already, nobody's going to be disqualifying anybody, but so that everything works smoothly. 1 o'clock, please make sure that everything is also submitted. 30 minutes to the time, putting together everything. Everybody's ready, and 1 o'clock done. That's it. AI usage. Look, you can use AI, right? But remember that AI is garbage in, garbage out. So if you do not know what you're doing, if you finish in 5 minutes and if you don't know what you're doing, it's to your detriment. Because when you see the judging criteria, then you understand what I'm talking about, right? So if you use AI and you don't understand what the heck this thing has done, you're going to have to test it anyways that it's working. You're going to have to explain this anyway. Not technically going through all the code, the classes, no. Nobody wants to, but in a way that you understand what you have done. That is critical. How you put it together, how you've done your grouping at the back, what have you done? You have to explain it, and the code must speak. So if you're not able to explain, what the heck you've done, then everybody knows that, okay. 1 second, please. So it's going to be very obvious that AI did everything for you, and you have no clue of what you've done here. So the whole idea is let AI be like a starter, give you ideas, kickstart you, but let your ingenuity come into play. Let you come into play and fill in the blanks. So, but you're free to do AI. Just make sure that you let us know. Attribute whatever AI did for you. Make sure you state it. This is what I used AI for. Here. And if you use AI 100%, yeah, that's what you did. State it, right? Attribute it. Next. So these are the next criteria. We're going to be looking at impact, feasibility, innovation, technical design, user experience, and pitch quality. There's going to be a bonus for inclusive design, working demo, responsible AI use. That's where that comes in. Now, I was saying earlier on that if you like, be that person that is that smart person that just used AI for everything, that's not responsible. That wasn't you who did that. You might as well have given chat, the $1,000 or whatever dollars at the end of the day. That wasn't your work, right? So the expectation is, of course, you use AI to start. You use AI to get ideas or design, whatever you use AI for. Your contribution is significant in the output or the final result of this MVP. So they're going to be looking at that and giving extra bonus points to those people who have shown their own ingenuity. the whole process. And they have not relied only on AI. Everybody knows they can use AI for everything. But it's garbage in, garbage out. If you do not understand what you're doing, it's going to be so obvious to the judges you don't understand what you're doing. Because it's only that person that knows what he's doing. I mean, sometimes AI goes like, it's just talking, it's like, it's like the thing is having issues, psychological issues. And I'm wondering, hey, but if you know what you're doing, you challenge it and you keep on prompting it until it gives you what you think is along the lines of what it should be. So that's what I'm talking about. If you do not know what you're doing, it's going to be so obvious. So judges are looking out for practical solutions, clear thinking, simplicity, deployability, and demonstrable functionality. Now, the whole idea is, again, the user journey. I think I spoke to that earlier on. Section B, the workshop B, will speak to that. The committee people are going to be coming here. The people who were building this for, who the problem resides in. This is a big problem for them. I mean, we had several sessions with them, and they came up with this to say, look, it's a real pain. This problem that we're going to be solving is a real pain. So they will be looking at usability within their context. So at the next workshop, make sure you garner from them the context, the people, the users, their constraints, their issues, so that you factor that as you're building. Make sure that you're closing your eyes or whatever, you're thinking about, picture that person in your mind, the user. It's not you, you are not the user. Just, I couldn't overemphasize that. Because I know many of us techie people, at the end of the day, for you build something solid, but meanwhile somebody else built something so simple, but that's what they needed. It's just something simple. So as per the scoring, we will reveal that on the weekend, Friday, so you know what weights are assigned to what. Then everything is going to be revealed on Friday. Now for the IP, you will be required to acknowledge or to sign off on this. We have a clause. The IP licensing, you retain ownership of your work. By participating, you're going to give the GMHCA and Civic Tech, and I think Tech Connect.
And Tech Connect, yeah. We'll have it all listed there. Basically, any organization that Civic Tech or Tech Connect deems as being able to use that open source code, we can provide it to them.
Right. So a perpetual royalty-free, non-exclusive license to use, modify your solution for community and operational purposes. This ensures your work can be used in real life. Next.
And we're going to use the MIT license.
Yep.
Yeah, MIT, and this is just purely by way of information, there's the Apache, but this is simple, widely used, permissive, hackathon friendly. Basically, you still retain ownership of whatever you built. It's still yours. Nobody's going to take that away from you forever. Like Shannon was saying earlier on, your names will be on that thing forever. Imagine a big plaque somewhere in the CD saying,
Yeah.
these people built this, because of the significant contribution. So others can use it with attribution. Now somebody might be asking that, okay, what if we say it's not for profit, right? So somebody might be asking here at the back, okay, what if they want to use it for commercial purposes? What's going to happen? All my work and all of that. If that's going to ever happen, then you will be contacted, and a conversation or a discussion will happen because it is still your IP. So nobody will be using for commercial purposes behind your backs, and then you suddenly see it and somebody is making thousands of dollars on your work. No, this is civic tech, right? So it's tech for good, it's not for profit. Okay, it's for the community. But if it ever happens that a conversation is ensuing for that, if it ever happens, you will be contacted. And whoever the winning team is will be contacted to discuss whatever that looks like at that point in time. So you know. Okay, so we've talked about that. The expectation is after now, please go on the Slack, and you will see this pin on the Slack, the clause, participation clause. Please just acknowledge by doing a thumbs up, and that's all you're required to do. Everybody's required to do that, and that's all. And that shows us that you're in agreement to that. Okay, code of conduct. This is very important to us. Respect all participants. I've seen situations where this kind of event turned really ugly. Some people, they were angry because the mentors were spending more time here. It just got really nasty. And they were thinking, come on, are you the only ones? It really got nasty. So we expect this at the very least. Respect all participants, no harassment, inclusive collaboration, ethical development, and professional conduct. If you have any issues, Shannon, Sebastian, you've seen me, you've seen me. So whoever that you can recognize, the mentors, just quietly go to that person. Hey, this is frustrating me right now. Instead of pulling your hair or just attacking someone, and then everybody's like, what's going on? So please, let's adhere to this code of conduct. This is a community space, and we expect everybody to be collaborators here. At the end of the day, we just want to have a blast together. So, how to prepare? In summary, create your GitHub account, install your tools, review the basics, join Slack, and get ready to collaborate. Again, do your strategy as a team, together. It's a project, after all. This is a project. Take it seriously, like that. Have your team meeting, have a strategy, as a project team. How are we going to do this? Just stick to the basics. Don't overdo anything. Just stick to the basics, and you will be good. So, now, what happens after the hackathon? The winning solution may, right? We do not have control. We don't know what, great minds like yours will come up with. We don't know what will happen. But it may enter a refinement phase. That is, after you're done, we selected the winning team, and then the committee, the committee is made up of different organizations, member organizations within the community. So they decide, oh wow, this is it. These guys have nailed it. We just need to do A and B, differently, or just tweak it here and there, and this is what we want to go with. We're going to go with this, we're going to run with this, we're going to use this as a city, and this might be used in other parts of New Brunswick. So, may enter refinement, be reviewed by the GMHC, and then piloted. So once they agree they're going to use it, and this is good to go, we're going to select the top 3 member organizations, and all of that will be discussed, after when we go into that operationalization stage, if they decide to go ahead with it. But I look forward to that, and I'm hopeful that you guys will come up with something great. So that's it for us. Any questions? Yes.
You mentioned the attribution data. How would that be measured? Would it be in the reading?
Yeah, it actually says in the slides, it is in the README. So just in the README, make sure that you identify.
Yeah, what you use the AI, to the extent to which you use the AI. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
How many winning solutions?
Sorry?
How many winning solutions?
One.
I saw solutions on the slide. So.
One. So, we may have a tie, and then we'll decide how that goes, because I suspect everybody here, I see, great minds and all of that. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to have a tiebreaker, and probably even keep the same price, but it depends, but it's just one winning solution.
There will be a first and second place though. Okay. And there's always the possibility in the end that there might be a couple of solutions where we're going to take parts of this and parts of that and bring it together. And if that's the case, there will be full transparency when it comes to the deployment piece on what we're doing and how it's being done. But there will be a first and second place.
Right, price-wise.
Price-wise.
Yeah. I'm curious, how many people are going into the hackathon?
Come on, put your hands up.
We got more hands
Great
this time than
opportunity.
we started.
Yeah, I know, I totally did.
All right, great.
No, that's really great.
Thank you so much, everybody.
So, next steps. March 3rd, we meet here again. You get to meet some of the members of the Greater Moncton Homelessness Steering Committee. They're going to tell you what's going on in their community and how things are, what's going right, what's going wrong, where the challenges are, where their wins are. But I think the most important thing, and I am going to reiterate it, it's been said multiple times. You are going to be building something where simplicity and user experience is going to be paramount. Okay. I know in Civic Tech, we've had a lot of Civic Tech volunteers come in, and they have this great idea, and many people, and most ideas are great. They truly are great, except I know it's already been done, or I know based on what's built here that the person who's gonna be using it isn't even gonna know where to begin. So that's why the next workshop is so important, okay? And again, the people who show up will have the advantage. Will have the advantage. Now, we are recording this, we're gonna share it in our workshop A, you know, for you guys to review it. We're gonna do that with all the workshops. And then we got Mike doing the third one, you know, to help you guys at least open something up. If you do plan to use AI, make sure you already, I am going to highly recommend at that time that you do buy the subscription for a month to get access to something better than a free version. But think about it for now. In the workshop A Slack channel, I am going to put an RSVP link for next week's workshop. Okay? It's the same idea, you know, you're going to get an email. If we don't see you register, you're going to get an email saying, can you let us know if you're coming or not? Because as you can see, seating is limited, and it's going to be first come, first serve. This workshop did have almost 72 participants sign up. It doesn't surprise me that we ended up with about 15, 20 people, yeah. And that's good news for you guys. If you're committed, you're gonna build some great things. The mentors. Our goal is to ensure that we have at least one mentor available for every 3 teams. And we do want to ensure that we have, like, we're gonna have the software dev mentors, the security mentors, some data mentors, and some mentors who are experienced with AI, okay? So by having at least one mentor per 3 teams, you should be able to get access to one when you need it. The only time you will not have access to a mentor is between probably around midnight till 8 in the morning. Okay, you're welcome to work through the night. You are welcome to post in Slack if you do hit a ball net. In case we have a mentor that is a night owl just like the rest of you. You are not coding straight through till you have a mental breakdown. We do have little content. No, we'll never do that. We do have some surprise games and surprise contests that will happen throughout the weekend, so that you can take a break here and there and do something fun, okay? Ricardo.
Yes.
Any examples?
No.
Quick ones.
There are going to be obvious coffee and some retro games, for example, just to
We're gonna have
to take a break.
Table,
Yeah.
hopefully, and we'll have some more games, but we'll have a couple of little quick contests too,
Yeah.
with little prizes for people who participate. We will have free food and what is it, Indomie noodles? We are gonna have Indomie noodles, the packaged noodles for the entire weekend for everybody to enjoy. Thank you, Indomie noodles.
Is there a sponsor for that?
They've agreed to send us.
Really?
Yes, they did. We're gonna have
Three big things of those in my pantry.
Apparently they're good. So we will have Indomie noodles available throughout the weekend. We have bottled water available throughout the weekend. We will ensure that we are working on getting a pizza day. We are working on, and we'll make sure that there's breakfast for you guys. Now these are gonna be super simple. This is like croissant, you know, for breakfast, croissant and bagels for breakfast, maybe a sandwich tray for lunch. We will not be providing energy drinks. We had thought about asking for a sponsor for energy drinks, but of course, there's liability issues if somebody for some reason shouldn't have drank the energy drink because it causes heart arrhythmia. So, You wanna bring your own drinks, you wanna bring your own snacks, if you have a special diet, we can do our best to accommodate, but we cannot promise anything. If you have nut allergies, gluten allergies, what have you, you come at your own risk, okay? We will have, for those of you who do not like Indomie noodles for the entire weekend, we will ask for a couple of food trucks to come here, and I'm talking to them about maybe taking $1 off a meal, you know, and passing out tickets. So we will have that option for you to purchase, and as you can see, we have our friendly neighborhood Tim Hortons right beside us. We are doing our best, though, to ensure that you have something to eat. I would say the smaller snacks, bring your own smaller snacks to get you through the night.
On one of the slides, it said something about overnight being required.
Okay, so not required, recommended. We will be open all night,
Right.
okay? It's not a requirement, though. I mean, if people choose to go home to go to sleep, you're free to do that.
Whatever, yeah. As long as don't, you know, I mean, be truthful, be honest, whatever you're doing, no backup, somebody somewhere who's helping to, you know, just put everything together and then next thing you're done. You know, so that's just.
No, I mean, if you feel more comfortable, like, we're gonna have, a volunteer representative here overnight Saturday and overnight Sunday. The doors, it's a security building, so the doors will be locked, so we will have sign in and sign out. But somebody will be here to let people in and out during the overnight hours, okay? So yeah, not required. I think the better term would have been to say that it goes overnight for both days, and people will be, okay?